Hey, welcome Broken World Entertainment. And now we get to look at James Gunn's response to Henry Cavill, as well as their response to Ezra Miller. So, as we know, the new slate has just been announced. We're hearing about the new Superman movie, which is going to be called Superman Legacy, which makes no sense. If it's a brand new Superman, why are you calling it Legacy? That would indicate the end of Superman. But the interesting part is, of course, Henry Cavill was outed as Superman because they said they want to go younger. But then he reads out the slate and it makes no sense. It makes things more confusing. And what he says about Ezra Miller makes it even more confusing. So the part that's confusing, of course, right now, before the Ezra Miller stuff, is that they want a Superman between the ages of 25 and probably about 24. So it's probably 24 and 25. They seem to be looking for 25-year-old. But we know that the new Batman will be older, much older, because he's going to have his son with him. Yeah. Anyway, Henry Cavill, of course, is out. James Gunn keeps denying that he has any problems with him and all this stuff. So it really boiled down to the full-on question. By the way, he answered some Twitter questions from people, and it makes it even more confused. But here's what James Gunn said directly about Henry Cavill's firing. He says, quote, "We didn't fire Henry. Henry was never cast." What? What the hell are you talking about, James? We didn't fire him. He was never cast. Who do you think has been playing Superman since 2013? He just appeared in Black Adam, the last DC movie that came out. To the point that the new owner of Warner Brothers said, put out the statement telling people, "You're back." But he wants to try and say he was never cast. Yes. Yes, he was. Oh. But he goes on. He says, "For me, it's about who do I want to cast as Superman, and who do the filmmakers we have want to cast. And for me, for this story, it isn't Henry." But you haven't got a filmmaker because you haven't got a script. So therefore, how do you know the filmmakers don't want Henry? No, James, for you don't want Henry. And he added, "I like Henry. I think he's a great guy. I think he's getting dicked around by a lot of people, including the former regime at this company. But this Superman is not Henry for a number of reasons. Reasons he does not elaborate on." He actually gives no answer as to what those reasons are. Not even just to say, "Oh, we want to go younger." But there you go. And he's trying to say DC and stuff are messing them around, and everyone's messing around. James Gunn, Peter Safran, you've just messed them around. He literally was told by the head of the company to put out the statement announcing he was back, and he did it. You saw the fans' reactions, they were pumped, and you went ahead and fired him. Yeah, what a great look. But then, today, he had to walk back some of his statements regarding the Flash, when he said in his statement that the Flash was going to reset the DC universe. So, let's have a look at this. So, DC Studios CEO James Gunn appears to walk back statements he made claiming that the upcoming Flash movie would reset the DC universe. When announcing his new DCU slate and its first chapter titled Gods and Monsters, Gunn said the film would reset the entire DC universe, which he did. Here's what he said about it. He said, "The Flash, a fantastic movie that I really love, that resets the entire DC universe." Well now, James, what have you got to say now? Well, now he's walking it back. And he's walking it back because a fan on Twitter put out a tweet saying, "James, I'm seriously confused. How is Viola Davis still playing Amanda Waller? Aren't you rebooting the DCEU 100%? That includes Peacemaker, the whole Suicide Squad, and the Snyderverse. Like you said, Robert Pattinson's Batman and Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is Elseworlds story." Gunn actually replied to this and said, "Nope. Flash resets many things, not all things. Some characters remain the same, some do not." Yet the crazy thing is the only one that doesn't seem to be remaining is Henry Cavill. Next guy trolls in a question, says, "Any word on Gal Gadot? Did you have a meeting with her yet? And by the way, this will be interesting, let's go." He responded to that question and says, "Yes, we met with her weeks ago." Well, isn't that interesting? Weeks ago. But you've made zero announcements regarding Wonder Woman and Gal Gadot. Zero. Yes, he mentioned the show Paradise Lost, but he never mentioned Wonder Woman being in it. We don't even know when it's meant to be. But here's where things start getting interesting. Or I should say, more interesting. Someone wrote, "Looking forward to the new projects, but I am disappointed you guys let Henry and Gail go, but still have Ezra around. He's a knucklehead, while Henry and Gail have done it all right. Just makes no sense to me." Wait to hear what Gunn's response to this is. "We didn't let Gail go. Ezra's movie is already made. Henry doesn't fit what I have for Superman." The two things there is Henry doesn't fit what he wants for Superman, but he doesn't deny that they're keeping Ezra. He says you still have Ezra around, and the response is his movie's already made. That's not saying you're not going to get rid of him. And in light of Gunn leaving the door open for Miller, what happens? Peter Safran jumps in. Yes, the same jackass who backed Amber Heard and who has been pretty open to the idea of keeping Ezra. And here's the co-CEO of DC right now as everything stands. And here's his comment in regards to Ezra Miller. Quote, "Ezra is completely committed to his recovery." He says there, but I'm not calling Ezra Miller they, them, or any of that shit. "We are fully supportive of that journey he is on right now. When the time is right, and when he is ready to have that discussion, we will all figure out what the best path forward is. That means they are even willing to sit down and talk with this absolute lunatic. The company who still to this day hasn't apologized to Johnny Depp. And here they are with a psychopath who's on camera choking a woman, being arrested, being an absolute nuisance to the fucking island of Hawaii, amongst other things, including reports of grooming and possibly even kidnapping. And they're willing to sit down and discuss. And the way he says it there, it sounds like they want to know, oh, are you ready to continue? Not, well, we have concerns. That's pure, are you ready to continue? But Henry Cavill's gone because, guess what? Henry was never cast, apparently. Wow. They are just making things worse for themselves. And it's getting ridiculous at this stage. Especially, let's keep these characters, but let's get rid of the one character everyone loved. Sweet Jesus. Anyway, that's what we got from them for now. God knows what he's going to end up tweeting tomorrow or the next day. Because the guy seems to tweet like a 14-year-old little girl. So with that, I'll leave it there for this one. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.